Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Thruthealcove. This is a story that horrified me and intrigued me all at the same. And I figured that this would be a good video to make, and I just wanted to share this story with you guys. So let's get in. Okay. Meredith Curly Hunter Jr. was born on October 24th, 1951 in San Francisco, Berkeley, San Francisco, California. He is the third oldest of four siblings. He's got two sisters and a brother. His youngest sister shares the same father by the name of Curly Hunter, who is of Native American descent. His mother, Alpha Mae Anderson, or African American, was a schizophrenic. And his oldest sister, Dixie Ward, different father, often was like the caretaker for the family. And some of the research that I did in finding out who this person was, I stumbled upon a couple of articles where she was interviewed, Dixie. Dixie described young Meredith as a very bright kid. She remembers things like when she used to do laundry for the house, she would always find like insects and worms in Meredith's pockets and stuff like that. His family and close friends called him Murdoch, or Murdoch Supreme, however you want to call it, but that's what they called him, that's what they referred him to. Years go by, 60s are going through, and Meredith is a teenager now. And he's gotten himself involved in quite a few things. One thing, he was involved in what was called back in the day a club, which would be considered a gang now. And they call themselves the East Bay Executors. And what they did was they just got into like fist fights, they did petty crime, and they did drugs. They smoked weed, they smoked beaties, and they shot meth. In the late 60s, interracial dating was extremely taboo, and in the black and white communities, it was still considered a huge no-no. But in the Bay Area, it was, you know, kind of like a new thing, a new hip and groovy thing, as they would probably say. And it was something that was a bit common at that point. And Meredith yet met a young white girl, 17-year-old, and her name was Patty, forget her last name, Patty something, but it starts with the letter B, I forget. They met in the schoolyard of Berkeley High School, and they hooked up and got together and began to date. And they dated for a few weeks, and in those few weeks he took her to see a Temptations concert at a San Francisco club. And then I'm sure there was a lot of phone calls and a lot of, you know, meeting up during the week and stuff like that. And things seemed to be going good. In the process, Meredith had gotten hired for a post office job, which he never made it to. And his oldest sister, Dixie, her husband, had recently been killed in a freak electrocution accident. So as a result, he decided that he would step up to the plate and become like a role model for her children. And at the time, he was teaching her youngest child how to cross the street, you know, like looking both ways and paying attention to cars, making sure that they don't, you know, run red lights and things like that. So he was pretty much doing his thing. In the East Bay Executors, they carried heat. He was packing. He would carry a gun with him all the time. He never used it or anything like that because he really didn't get into any situation where he had to use it. But those were some of the kind of things that he used to do. And then the big thing happened. On Saturday, December 6, 1969, the Rolling Stones had put on a free concert at the Altamont Raceway in California. And this was supposed to be the last leg of the Stones' very first headlining American tour. And it originally wasn't supposed to be at Altamont, it was supposed to be somewhere else, but that deal fell through at the last minute, so they decided to do it at the Altamont Raceway, and it was hastily done within like a day or two before the show was supposed to go on. Everything about this concert just felt disaster. They hired the Hells Angels, the San Francisco chapter of the Hells Angels, to provide security, and they allegedly paid them in $500 worth of beer. The stage that they were supposed to perform on was only 3 feet above the ground, just 3 feet up from the ground, which comes up to like my waist. Big mistake, big mistake. And there were other performers scheduled to perform at this particular concert. Jefferson Airplane, Crosby, Stills and Nash, Santana, the Flying Burrito Circus, I think is their name, and Santana and Grateful Dead. All throughout the concert, there were little violent spats between Hells Angels and concert goers. And this concert was supposed to be the West Coast version of the Woodstock concert that was held the previous summer. And it was literally the complete opposite. It was everything that Woodstock did not stand for whatsoever. There was just all kinds of violence. All of this stuff was caught on camera, on film, for a documentary called Gimme Shelter, documenting the Stones' first American tour as headliners. All of it was caught. Very brutal. You've got a couple of Hells Angels beating some concert goers with pool sticks. One of the members of the Jefferson Airplane got knocked out because he intervened in a scuffle between a Hells Angel and a concert goer. A lot of mayhem. It was just so much going on that day at that concert. Then finally the Stones hit the stage. Enter 18-year-old Meredith Hunter. Meredith Hunter at that point was really starting to develop, becoming some sort of a larger-than-life character. He became this extremely flashy dresser with these brightly colored clothes, and he would sometimes paint his nails the color of the outfit that he was wearing at that moment. At this particular concert, he was wearing this very, very bright green suit, blazer and slacks with a black ruffle collar button up and a black hat to the side with his afro tucked underneath it and some of it popping out on the side. Dude was fly. He was fly. It was very Jackson 5-esque. And the camera picks him up in the audience, and he's visibly high. You could tell that, you know, the elevator isn't going all the way up to the top. He's high. So is everybody else. And it's visible that you could see people rushing the stage because it was pretty easy to do. It was only 3 feet off of the ground. People were rushing the stage when the Stones had hit, and everything was just being disastrous. Something happened that the cameras did not pick up, and that we'll probably never ever know. But the camera does pick this up in this movie. Meredith is running out of the crowd, and he has a gun in his hand. It's a very quick image of the gun, but it's there. His girlfriend is standing there and she's trying to like restrain him or whatever the case may have been. It looked like she was just trying to pull him away from whatever was going on. But she was a little too late because a Hells Angel ran up behind him, pushed his arm down that he had the gun in, which was his left arm, and stabbed him 5 powerful times in the back. Under my thumb, her eyes. After they stabbed him, a couple of the angels came over and just started beating on him. All of this stuff did not happen on camera. This was off camera. And they beat him up. They just beat him up, kicking him, throwing garbage cans at him. They messed him up bad. And as a result, he died from his injuries right there at the concert. And this marked the end of the 60s, the innocence of the 60s. We'll never know why Meredith pulled the gun out. We'll never know exactly what caused the mayhem between him and the Hells Angels. But I wanted to do this video because I wanted to put a story behind this kid, because he would forever be known as the black guy who brought the gun to the free concert by the Stones and got stabbed on camera by the Hells Angel. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. I've got more videos coming up. Motown, I got one more Motown video, response video to somebody else's video that wanted me to do them a favor, and I guess a lot of more goodies whenever they do come up. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Hey boo, I love you honey, I love you. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Do the alcove of your mind. Keep loving each other, y'all.